Welcome to your daily dose of theological German. We are on installment number 12 of the Cult Theology of the letter to the Hebrews. In addition, or further, this is a discourse marker. It's just going to add to the argument from the previous sentence, more data, I suppose you could say. And so because that discourse marker begins the sentence, your verb, of course, has to be in second position, so the subject is now after the verb. Hebrews 10:16 and following. So, in addition, Hebrews 10:16 following repeats the quotation of Jeremiah 31:33 that was already cited in 8:10:12. And now you have a second clause which is not subordinate, so the verb will not be at the end, it will be in second position, except the subject has been elided. It's actually the same subject as the first clause, and so your verb just comes at the very beginning of the clause, which is technically still second position, grammatically speaking. So it repeats that quotation, and it emphasizes with the selection of this pair of Jeremiah verses the forgiveness of sins as a feature of the covenant that is highlighted once again in verse 18. So for detailed comment, this sentence has two instances of what April Wilson, and as far as I know, she's the only one that says this, but she calls it an overloaded adjective construction, which is a confusing sounding phrase. I would just call it a heavily modified nominal or noun, because that's really what it is. And what makes it confusing is that it's a noun that's modified often by a full phrase with verbs and adverbs and prepositions, and it could be whole clauses modifying some noun, and the modification, all those things, comes in between the noun and whatever article or adjective would have initially been the modifier, and so that's kind of what makes it confusing. So the first example was here, the quotation of Jeremiah 31:33, but in between this definite article and the noun that it goes with, you have all of this stuff, this participial adjective here, cited already, the cited, and then this adverb modifies that because it's technically a verb here, not an adjective, and so it's the already cited quotation, and then you have a prepositional phrase indicating where it was cited, the already cited in 8:10 quotation. In fact, in English, you could get away with the first part of that. You could actually say the already cited quotation of Jeremiah 31:33. So you could do the same thing in English as far as putting modifiers in between the article and the noun. However, when you start adding prepositional phrases to that, it does start to get convoluted in English, but in German, that's how they do it. They just throw it in. The second one is down here, the forgiveness of sins. And of course, then, technically you could just say the forgiveness, but then it's of sins as a feature of the new covenant, so that's all modified on the back end. But in between the article here, die, and Vergebung, forgiveness, you have again this prepositional phrase which modifies it. And so what it's saying is that the forgiveness of sins that's being referred to there is highlighted another time in verse 18. And so it's the same kind of thing. So really the strategy, as you can see how I just did it there, is that you want to first, find out, okay, I'm dealing with this articles in these cases. Sometimes it's an adjective like all or, some or something like that. It can be an adjective. In this case, it's an article. You want to find that first and then find the noun that it goes with, okay? And then you can sort of start piecing together what's getting modified in between. But the key is to find the noun that goes with, I think is the hardest part and the most important. So anyways, hope that's helpful. As always, thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe and tell all of your friends about how horrible it is to have to learn German, but we're doing it anyway.